Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Tia Silva Rahmalia. I'm from class Chemistry 8. In this occasion, I will explain you about sampling strategy, contamination and loss in water analysis, and contamination from reagents. Sampling is collecting a certain volume of water to be studied. For example, taking water in rivers, seas, reservoirs, etc. with the smallest possible amount but still able to represent and still have the same properties as the water. The water extraction strategy must ensure that the water sample does not change at the time of collection until it is analyzed so that the analytical data is valid. Sampling is divided into 3 steps, namely 1. Representative sampling, 2. Transport and preservation of samples, 3. Chemical analysis of samples. Next, preparation of sampling and preservation. The bottle that will be used to take the sample must be clean and ensure that it does not contain contaminants from the previous sample. Then it must be rinsed with distilled water first, then followed by the liquid that will be used to fill the water and dry. The same applies to sampling equipment such as pipes, pumps, etc., which must be clean and free from residues from old samples, especially mold and mildew, which must be prevented because they can absorb the sample being tested. Then contamination from metal or sampling equipment, which may dissolve in the sample, must also be prevented. Iron, brass, bronze can be dissolved in acidic or basic water, while plastic and rubber materials can be dissolved in industrial wastewater containing organic solvents or oil and gasoline. Samples can be taken separately using a bucket, plastic bottle, or glass tied with a rope, then put into rivers, canals, wells, and so on. To take samples and ascertain depth, a closed bottle can be provided, which can be opened when it reaches the desired depth. Another way is to use a kind of pump that sucks. Samples from water faucets can be taken with an open beaker or a bottle that will be closed, depending on the analysis plan. Automatic sampler is a special tool for consecutive sampling. Automatic sampler consists of suction pip, pump, clock to control the frequency of sampling, a tool to divide the sample mixture, and isothermic box. The samples should fill the collection file completely, and the file should be tightly closed to avoid contact with air. One common way of preserving samples is the cold atmosphere. Samples are transported in an isothermic box containing ordinary or dry ice and then stored in the refrigerator or freezer. Furthermore, disturbance that can arise during the storage and transportation of samples are gases such as oxygen and dioxide carbon can be absorbed by the sample water or can disappear from the sample water into the air. Suspended and colloidal substances can form their own flux and precipitate, so that there are samples that are different from the original state. At least the sludge should be suspended again evenly before analysis using a storage bottle. Like substance and liquids float on the surface. Some solutes can be oxidized by dissolved oxygen so that they turn into other compounds. The method of preserving the sample depends on the analysis carried out and the element under study. Contamination is defined as the entry of unwanted compounds into the sample during the sample pretreatment process and during analysis. Source of contamination in sample can come from the atmosphere, operator, equipment, water, and reagents. Contamination from the atmosphere mainly comes from particulate trace elements on the soil surface and suspended material in the atmosphere. The simplest way to avoid atmospheric contamination of the sample is to cover the sample solution during the preparation and analysis process. Contamination by the operator, namely the analyst, can be a source of contamination of the sample to be analyzed either through direct contact or through the air. NaCl can be transferred to the sample through the operator's breath. Then smoke, dust, and cigarettes and source of metal contaminants. Furthermore, powders, lotions, perfume, operator clothes, and shoes, etc. can be a source of contaminants. Spoiled bark is reported to contain metals even in very low concentrations. Therefore, masks, gloves, laboratory coats are usually used to reduce contamination. Furthermore, contamination from equipment often occurs in 1. Glassware. Glass in analytical chemistry means borosilicate glass such as Pyrex, unless otherwise specified. Contamination of the sample from the glass is usually caused by attack of the container by the solution. Pyrex is resistant to weak acid and bases but less resistant to strong acid and base. High silica glass is more resistant to solution and heat attack. In order to keep glass contamination to a minimum, equipment should always be flushed and soaked with water when not in use. Other preparation equipment that is often used and has a lower probability of metal contamination are 1. Fused silica or quartz. Fused silica or quartz can be used at high temperatures and is more prone to metal contamination. The possibility of contamination comes from materials absorbed by silica in previous use. 2. Plastics, polyethylene and polypropylene, resistant to attacks by most of the reagents used. This plastic is not heat resistant and contains additives to aid mixing and fabrication. 3. Teflon, tetrafluoroethylene polymer. It can be used for temperatures of 300 degrees Celsius and is inert to almost all analytical reagents. 4. PVC or polyvinyl chloride contains high levels of metal. Most plastics are contaminated with polymers such as zinc scattered on the surface, so they need to be cleaned before use. 5. Rubber. It is advisable not to use rubber equipment in the trace analysis because rubber contains several additives such as zinc oxide, antimony compounds, etc. 6. Filter paper. Most filter papers contains a number of metals with varying contents. Next is contamination from water. Water is used in very large quantities compared to other reagents. It is necessary to pay special attention to the purity of the water used, especially in the trace analysis. To reduce metal contamination in water, the water needs to be passed first into the ion exchange, design column or at least 2 distillations. Contamination from reagents can be grouped into 1. Mineral acid and ammonia. Most mineral acids contain certain amounts of metals. Mineral acids can be divided as follows: extra pure acid, contains metal in very low levels. Generally, reagents with this quality have a fairly expensive price. Ultra pure generally contains fairly low metal concentrations, but the content of some elements varies from product to product. Analytical reagent grain acid usually contains metals and listed in the table. For the purpose of ultra-trace analysis, these acids can be purified by distillation. Next up is ammonia. Ammonia solution in water placed in a glass bottle will be contaminated by silica, aluminum, calcium, and other elements that might be caused by the attack of alkaline solution on the glass. Analytical reagents, ammonia can contain heavy metals in fairly low concentration. This is probably due to absorption of the metal by the glass. 2. Inorganic solids. Reagent quality in organic solids are usually pure enough to be used directly without purification, but a blank control solution must be prepared for purification, usually by crystallization or filtration. 3. Organic reagent. Organic reagent usually contain coordinately bonded metals. These metals are usually derived from solvents or reagents used in the synthesis of ligands. Organic reagents or complexes are usually used in such small quantities that contamination can often be neglected, but care needs to be taken, for example by using the reagent as a blank. 4. Organic solvent. The metal content in organic solvents is usually relatively low. One thing to watch out for is the presence of viable organic compounds dissolved in the solvent because it usually interferes with spectrometric determination. Next is the loss of analytes. In the preparation, separation, and determination stage, the analyte can be removed from the sample solution by the following factors: 1. Adsorption, 2. Volatilization, 3. Co-precipitation or precipitating. Thank you.